It looks like this needs a lot of watering. So I'm gonna have to get out the stick to water. Okay? So that's the story, Morning Glory. Hello, my name is Benita Adib. I am a mother of 3 daughters, grandmother of 2, wife to Hassan Robert Adib. They look pitiful. I actually need to turn the water on to do this. And I am a proud descendant of South Carolina farmers who have been farming in this country from 1710. So this would be my first time using the water this year. Some of my earliest childhood memories are in North Carolina. And in my onesies, I would travel with my grandfather into communities that were food insecure, and we would take boxes of vegetables that my grandfather grew and distribute them through the neighborhood. Oh, here I can see it. I don't have to go up and down so many times now. This is here. Yes. Yes. In the early 60s, my uncle refused to accept Jim Crow rules of society, so my grandparents didn't feel that he could come back to North Carolina. And using coded language, we snuck out of the South by night and traveled to California, where our family lived. When we left North Carolina, we didn't take seeds with us. So we had to, wherever we could source seeds were. But I didn't realize that every house wasn't like mine. Our whole backyard was gardening. We ate greens every single day, or fresh corn. We had peaches, we had Meyer plums, all these different things. We were doing the same thing. We were growing food and taking it out to struggling communities. 30 plus years ago, many of the elders were passing away. I remember one year we came to 5 funerals. So my husband and I decided to move back to the East Coast from California. That is pretty. It's got pink stems on it. Also, my family's still in possession of a lot of their farmland in South Carolina. I bet that might be something that we want. But see, when you're dealing with perennials, they just come back when they get good and doggone ready. So you're like, what is this? Is this something I want, or is this something that wants me? I heard about the success of our family in farming. So then my question was, well, what exactly were you growing? They said the thing that made them the most money was this delicious watermelon. And so I called one of my cousins, and he didn't even know how to use a smartphone, but his niece was with him, and so she guided through the process. So I asked him to close their eyes and remember what the kitchen smelled like. What did something taste like? What color was it? Who was at the stove? Who was cooking? And through the course of this back and forth, it popped into his memory. And he says, it was the Stone Mountain watermelon. It's something that I was able to get seeds for and return it to my family. And this year I have 4 cousins that are growing out that watermelon. So Ujamaa is reclaiming that agricultural heritage. We're doing the hard work of collecting seed stories. As we learn and reclaim that heritage, we are now in the position to be proud of our agricultural roots. Because of slavery and the loss of African varieties, and also the Great Migration out of the South, so much of that information was lost. So it's taking a lot more digging and research to figure out what those things are. But we're still on the path of doing that. And we decided that we would start our own BIPOC seed company specializing in culturally meaningful varieties. We started out with 25 growers. And the idea was do the same kind of work with your family. And so even though you move to Chicago or to Iowa or to Washington State, we'll see if we can relocate the varieties at your family's age. This is a very rare variety, probably one of the most important seeds we have, which is Nanticoke. If you look, you'll see the seeds are all different colors. And you see that? Because that's the level of biodiversity in this one. We originally started out with 140 varieties, and at this point in our second year, we have about 260 varieties. We have growers, friends from all over the country who've reached out to us who want to learn how to seed farm again, which is a skill that was kind of lost in the migration from the deep south. All the culturally meaningful varieties became scarcer and scarcer to the point where actually we're only eating about 20 varieties of foods. So we're reclaiming our heritage and hopefully taking a whole bunch of people with us. We're moving forward towards self-sufficiency, and then everybody's welcome to join the parade. This is menti, which is a very important Indian herb and vegetable. I truly believe that the path that I have been through to bring me to this point, where we have Ujamaa, the farming cooperative, as well as Ujamaa Seeds, was a path that led straight through the work that my family's been doing for multiple generations. So, you probably heard this saying, if you see me standing tall, it's because I'm standing on the shoulders of my ancestors. And so that's the position I find myself in. It makes me happy. I don't know too many other people that get as much joy as I do out of my life. I'm really blessed. Go Naaman, go Naaman, go down and wash, and the beautiful stream.